Welcome to another video of Top RPG News. We've got a lot to get through as it's been a very busy week. So let's start off with The Last Faith. Publisher Playstack and developer Kumi Souls Games has announced the upcoming Souls-like Metroidvania The Last Faith is coming to PC and consoles this year. Get ready for an unholy alliance of Metroidvania and Souls-like in The Last Faith, launching on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One in 2022. The news was announced alongside a new trailer at the Future Game Show last weekend. Originally launched as a Kickstarter campaign in 2020, the Dark Pixel side-scroller quickly surpassed its original goal by a massive 466%. The game takes players to what lurks in the shadows. The brutal but empowering gameplay sets players on a challenging experience marrying Metroidvania with Souls-like elements. The gameplay focuses on merciless combat with a number of custom executions to perform. Combat is described as reactive, with weapons gaining different stats and special movesets. Dodges come in 3 different types: back dodge, tactical dodge, and evasive. Unveiled during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase this week, a new 2D RPG game called Pentiment from the director of Fallout New Vegas. Obsidian Entertainment revealed a new 2D role-playing game called Pentiment coming to Xbox and PC in November 2022. Those subscribed to GamePass will also be able to access the game when it launches. The game is centered around branching narratives based in 16th century Bavaria, playing the role of journeyman artist Andre Mailer. The title is directed by Fallout New Vegas director Josh Sawyer. The art style is also pretty unique, inspired by manuscripts and woodcut prints, with a narrative derived from history itself. Mailer will take on odd jobs as he travels around Europe. Unfortunately, during one of his commissions working on an illuminated manuscript, his mentor is accused of murder. While his friends claimed he is innocent, no one seems to believe him. Mailer must step in order to find out who the killer really is in a medieval detective type story. While you do need to investigate, Pentiment is not defined as a detective game by the developer, as it's light on the detective game mechanics. It combines adventure, mystery with murder elements. Pentiment is just one of the games Obsidian is currently working on. They're also working on Avowed and The Outer Worlds too. And finally, an update on Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight Silksong was another game featured during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase this week, confirming the title will be coming to Xbox Game Pass day 1 of launch. While we didn't get a release date announced, Team Cherry did share that the title would release within the next 12 months. Silksong quietly entered the stage as the second game of the showcase right after Redfall. Tons of new gameplay was shown off, starring the main character, the Hornet. She initially made her debut in the original Metroidvania as a boss. Rather than exploring the underground and its labyrinth passages, you will have to ascend to the top of the new and mysterious haunted land of Farloom after being captured. And just like before, you'll encounter a large variety of creatures to slay, such as beasts, knights, assassins, and of course, more bugs. Hornet also still retains much of her movesets and abilities from the first game. She'll be able to make use of her quick and silky needle attacks. Silksong will have you solve several quests divided into 4 categories: Hunt, Grand Hunt, Gather, and Wayfarer. If you want to know more about Silksong or any news that's mentioned in this video today, be sure to visit the link in the description below. The Xbox and Bethesda Showcase also featured new gameplay for Starfield. The 15-minute footage showed combat exploring planets on foot, as well as confirming that there will be over 1,000 planets to explore. These planets will be divided up into 100 different star systems. Based on the footage, there'll be many different zones that have a unique look or feel to them. Starfield's gameplay looks to be a mix between Fallout, No Man's Sky, and The Outer Worlds. The player will be able to roam around planets and wander off in any direction. To help them identify key points of interest, they will be equipped with a trusty scanner. Starfield will have a good emphasis on combat, specifically gunplay. The trailer didn't give off a hint that we would be getting more exotic sci-fi flavors such as energy or plasma weapons. Starfield seems to be a little bit more grounded in its NASA punk reality. Pilot your own ship in either cockpit view, complete with dashboards, or looking at your entire ship. More importantly, you can engage in ship combat, moving around in all directions. Starfield is planned to release in the first half of 2023. It will be available on Windows and Xbox consoles. Diablo 4 was another heavy hitter for the showcase. The biggest bombshells were that Diablo 4 will be released in 2023 and the announcement of the Necromancer Class. The footage featured a disciple of one of the darker arts of Blood and Bone. With it, the Priests of Rathma were announced for Diablo 4. The Necromancer has been confirmed to be the 5th and final playable class for the upcoming action RPG. The Necromancer will also have access to what is called the Book of the Dead, which will grant them unprecedented control of their army. Skeleton warriors and mages can be customized to take upon one of the 3 distinct forms. More interestingly though, the game is being built from the ground up with cross-progression and cross-play in mind. Diablo 4 is also confirmed to have couch co-op enabled for friends sitting beside each other. More emphasis is being placed on player choice this time around. A detailed character customization menu will be available for the first time ever in Diablo. Be sure to check out our Diablo 4 wiki for more information on the game as it releases. Capcom held their showcase this week, revealing a Monster Hunter Rise demo which is now available. Players can get an early look at the upcoming expansion, which drops for PC and Switch at the end of the month. The new expansion brings a host of new monsters, Silksong attacks and switch skills for all weapons. Other new features also include follower quests with your favourite Rise characters plus new ones. We also get to experience a new hub and plenty of new challenges. As for what we can experience in the demo, it looks like we'll get to preview the new jungle biome, face Astalos, Tendridon, and slay a great Azuki. There's also access to training quests such as the Wyvern riding, learning the basics, and switch skill swap. Capcom also shared that the content roadmap for Sunbreak, which includes seasonal updates that go into 2023. These updates outlined are free title updates which include further rare species of monsters, Lucent Nagakuga, special species monsters, powered up monsters, a new locale of Ferorian Arena, and more monsters. More information will be shared soon according to Capcom, which should reveal the types of monsters coming. In case you missed it, be sure to check out our Monster Hunter Rise preview about the new outposts, wirebugs, monsters, and gameplay. Be sure to drop by our Monster Hunter Rise wiki for all the latest. Warlong Fallen Dynasty was one of the games featured during the Xbox showcase. Team Ninja recently shared in an interview with IGN that difficult games shouldn't be difficult just for the sake of it, according to producer Masaki Yamagiwa. In case you missed it, Warlong sets to be a Souls-like based on the Three Kingdoms era. This period is full of conflict, so it's perfect for a challenging combat game. As for the setting, it takes place in China, and the scope seems to be on quite a large scale compared to previous titles that the studio has done in the past, set in Japan, such as Nioh 2. The game, just like Nioh, sets to have plenty of mythical and dark fantasy elements, with brutal sword slashing from the get-go according to the trailer. It also features a ferocious dragon, which makes sense as the title translates to Crouching Dragon. If you're worried about the level of challenge, Team Ninja has shared that while the game is going to be extremely challenging and demanding, they have new approaches to setting the difficulty, promising a type of satisfaction that wasn't present in earlier Team Ninja games. Something new to the game compared to previous Ninja titles will be the addition of the morale system. The studio will work in the elegance of Chinese martial arts, making for a very stylish form of combat. Warlong Fallen Dynasty releases in early 2023 for Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC, as well as Xbox Game Pass. Capcom has announced a digital event would be happening this week to celebrate 10 years of Dragon's Dogma. While we had a few inklings that a sequel could be happening, it was confirmed that Dragon's Dogma 2 was in development. How did they announce this highly anticipated sequel? In style, of course. The game's director Hideki Itsuno shared the good news along with art director Daigo Hino, as well as environment art lead Kenichi Suzuki. Right at the end of the presentation, which went over the history of the games they worked on and the high fantasy title Dragon's Dogma, right at the end though, they unzipped their hoodies and were all revealed to be wearing Dragon's Dogma 2 t-shirts, unveiling the official logo. So far, not many details have been revealed about the upcoming sequel, but what we do know is the game is being developed using the Capcom RE engine. So far, the release window and platforms have not been revealed. In the meantime, you can grab Dragon's Dogma on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and Steam for as low as $5 USD until June 24th. It was a big week for Final Fantasy VII as a number of announcements and details were shared during the 25th anniversary celebration. So let's have a quick catch up. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was just announced the second installment to the game's remake series. It will be available in winter 2023. We already knew that the Final Fantasy VII remake would be told in multiple parts, but it was also confirmed that this saga would be a trilogy. The footage opened up with some dialogue from Aerith. While we didn't get to see much gameplay, it did show Cloud and Sephiroth, or Cloud and Zack, walking through the forest. Also confirmed during the conference was the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is now available on Steam. Another announcement that got fans excited was the unveiling of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. This title is planned to release on Xbox and PlayStation consoles as well as PC in the winter of 2022. As it stands, the game looks to be a prequel to the remake game, similar to how the 2008 original was a prequel to the OG Final Fantasy VII. Other announcements included a look at the two Final Fantasy VII mobile games, The First Soldier and Ever Crisis. The First Soldier is a multiplayer shooter that will start Season 3 soon. With that, it will bring new maps, weapons, materia, and the machinist style. Ever Crisis, on the other hand, is a different take on remaking the Final Fantasy VII story. It looks to be another chance for a remake. It uniquely blends the classic and remake style in its graphics, creating quite a charming look. Closed beta for Ever Crisis starts sometime in 2022.
Well, that's it for the Week in the Wikis. Please join us again next week for yet another great week of gaming. Remember to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits. And budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks again for being part of this great community. Keep checking in with us with news, reviews, YouTube streams and vids, and general wiki goodness.